Good morning, Sergeants. I'm Sergeant Maldonado, and welcome to this briefing. The overall classification for this briefing is unclassified. I'd like to welcome my SGL, Staff Sergeant Preister. The purpose of this briefing is to educate you on the importance of leader competencies and why it's important. You can find this, or rather, you can find leader competencies in ADP 6-22. Now, with the agenda, we're going to be discussing what is leader competencies and what are the leader competencies, defining the leader competencies, describing the leader competencies, and demonstrating a little bit about the leader competencies. Now, during my brief, I'll be discussing the 3 categories of leader competencies, which is leads, develop, and achieves. I will talk about how these competencies go hand in hand with one another. Now, first off, I'd like to start off a lead and lead others. Now, lead others by taking control of a situation and encourage peers, subordinates, and seniors to use their skills, experience, and rank, time of service to work as a team to accomplish a common goal in an efficient way. Now, next one is build trust within lead. And leaders can build trust by the amount of knowledge one has while gaining more knowledge. Now, that may be you having a peer within your ranks or among your ranks, and let's say that peer has done something you haven't done before, and you now face yourself in a situation where you are, so to speak, in his footsteps or her footsteps, and that person comes up to you and gives you the answer for the test and tells you, hey, Sergeant, or hey, Battle, this is how I did it. It was very effective, and maybe you should give it a shot. Next one is extending influence. Leaders extend beyond the chain of command. Now, going back to building trust and that scenario I just kind of gave, it doesn't necessarily have to be among your ranks. It could also be in a different unit, in a whole different duty station in a different state. Also, discovering a better way of doing tasks that can benefit your unit and other units, which is, extending beyond the chain of command, your chain of command specifically. Next one is leads by example. Now, even as a private, this should already be instilled with you. Leading by example, making sure that you are, so to speak, above your peers, or at least, that one person that is recognized for doing something of great value, because that person leads from the front and not the rear, and always likes to be heard with their actions. Leading by example is always working hard and doing the right thing when no one is looking. Next one, we have communicate. Leaders communicate important information amongst others that can improve the work environment, help toward success, and create an exchanging relationship amongst other groups outside of your own. Now, again, that goes hand in hand. In my opinion, that goes hand in hand with building trust, extending influence, and leading by example. All traits of leads, all traits of leader competencies. Next competency we have develop or developing. Um, for this one, we have create a positive environment. Leaders create a positive environment that support healthy behaviors and professional relationships. Foster esprit de corps. Leaders foster esprit de corps by giving their soldiers a sense of cohesion and support by their leadership. Next one we have preparing self, maintain mental and physical health and well-being. Now for this one, I want to say, if you are not maintaining mental or physical health and well-being, then you're going to be sticking out like a sore thumb. Only because your soldiers are going to see that within you, and you aren't going to be really creating a positive environment. They're going to have negative connotations about you, and they're just going to say, well, Sergeant so-and-so, Sergeant Maldonado, for example, is slacking off. Why can't I slack off? Let me just go to my room. Remember, always you want to maintain a mental and physical health and well-being. That way, nobody sees you doing, or nobody sees you in the wrong for no reason. Developing others. Leaders develop others by focusing on building rapport instead of micromanaging. In the Army, my fellow peers, they do not like to be micromanaged. I don't think anybody does. It's kind of belittling at certain extents, but everybody wants to be, in a positive environment. Micromanaging does not do that. It's not good, but if it has to be done, it has to be done, unfortunately. But yeah. Next one we have stewards of the profession. Expanding your knowledge in the military in order to enhance yourself as a leader. Now, that goes as even as a private fresh out of boot camp, or PV2 fresh out of boot camp entering AIT. You want to expand your knowledge in the military because you only know what basic training has taught you. Now you go to AIT, and let's say I'm in the platoon leader role. I want to tell my soldiers, hey, you know about SSD1? Well, now they changed it. It's not SSD1 anymore. It's DLC. And I want you to get enrolled in that, so that way you have a leg up on other soldiers that don't know about this. And that way we are setting you up for success, and you in return set your other peers that don't know about this on the path of success as well, sharing that information. Let's move on to achieve. Achieve is mainly about getting results. Results are all about quality tasks and accomplishments through administrating, overseeing, and regulating the workload. Accomplishing tasks, leaders must give deadlines and a specific amount of time to prepare and complete a mission. When an individual's performance is at satisfactory or above, a leader should reward subordinates accordingly. Now with that boosts up morale, instills, I want to say in my opinion, stewards of profession. It fosters esprit de corps. It builds trust, because now let's say if I go above and beyond on one thing, whether it be let's say if I'm a private and I view a duty senseless, but I know that Sergeant Maldonado is in charge or something like that, and if I do that task, then I'm gonna get appraisal or I'm gonna be rewarded of some kind, and now my morale has boosted. Now I don't look at it as senseless. I want to actually do the right thing and have that trust in my sergeant that yeah, I am the person, the soldier that you can count on in doing certain tasks without you even telling me. I'm gonna just not jump the gun, but I'm gonna go out there and do whatever needs to be done in order to complete a mission. In summary, leading, developing, and achieving are vital components to new and current leaders in the Army. Leaders have many faces and characteristics, and no matter what, leaders should always aim to be the best and should always do the right thing, even when no one is looking. Are there any questions? No? This concludes my brief.